I got, well, I had our friend Burpees Bandit from Australia up on the channel, up on his channel. He's talking about planting the seed of working out. He gets up in the morning and he does 5 reps, push-ups, just to plant the seed so that he knows later on that he'll do a workout. Yu-Gi-Oh, how are you? Hey, when does school start for you, my friend? Our friend Flower started today. You're not late at all. Got here right on time. Sorry, saying hi to my cat. Wildlife is here says, greeting beautiful people. Well, so far we have 2 beautiful people here. You and Zach. And me. That's our friend Burpee Bandit. He's been doing burpees for years in a mask. Never showed his face once. If you get a chance to go visit, support, he's a good guy. He's been a good friend through the past couple years, maybe 2 years, I guess. Jacob's here. Jacob drops a link for Burpees Bandit. Thank you, Jacob. Jacob put in some big work today. 5 pumps. I'm rechecking your page, Wildlife. I knew I was subscribed. I haven't seen anything recently, so I thought I would check. I updated my subscription. William's here. William, what's up? How are you? William says, Yellow Yogi in chat. William is getting ready to embark on a big adventure soon. We could actually call it, hey, William, have you ever read Siddhartha? Hermann Hesse. We could rightly say that Jacob, or that William is embarking on a spiritual path. Jacob is dropping some links. Pokemon is here, says hello everyone. Pokemon, how are you? Goldie's here. Says hi there, lovely people. Hi there, lovely Goldie. So how's everyone's Monday? Winding down for most of us, not all of us, but most of us. I know for our friends on the West Coast, it is still relatively early. Just afternoon. Laradox is here. Laradox, how are you? Goldie says, please subscribe to our outstanding brother, Jacob. Absolutely. And that sums up Jacob perfectly. An outstanding brother. William says he binge ate so much today. What'd you eat? Jacob drops Laradox's link. How you feeling, Laradox? Sorry, I'm yawning. As I said, we're winding down. Especially me, as I've mentioned before. I'm usually asleep by 7:30. Mary, The Undoer of Knots. I mentioned this yesterday. I absolutely love that title. It says, time to make an angel food cake. Nice. Do you have a secret ingredient? And if you do, you don't have to tell me what it is. Just say, yes, I have a secret ingredient. William says, 2 keto toast, 3 pieces of walnut butter toast, 2 servings of strawberries, 1.5 servings shelled pistachio so far. That is a lot of food. It's good food though. You got the toast, so you're going to have plenty of fiber, as I know that you eat healthy bread. Jacob says, hey, Sister Goldie. Pokemon says it's 5:19 here in Fort Lauderdale. See some baby back ribs that I cooked in the oven. Yep, it's 5:19 here as well. How's the weather in Fort Lauderdale? Has it rained yet today? Oscar's here. Oscar Fat Man does it. That sounds delicious. Well, which one? The baby back ribs, the avocado toasts, and all the stuff that William was eating, or the baby back ribs, or all of it? Hey guys, are you following Oscar? Oscar is putting the work in. He hit 300 burpees for a PR. Hey Oscar, how many rep PR was that? He's part of a solid support system with the Burpee Reaper and the legendary Leo said so. Rear 69 says, I have a secret ingredient. It's baby gravy. So it's gravy that was just born, gravy that's very, very young. William says 4 or 5 toasts, 90 calories each, 6 grams of protein each, 3 grams of fiber, fifth toast, that's 700 calories. Nice. It's 10:19 here. So, sorry, hey, Oscar, I missed your first comment. I apologize. Oscar said, hey, Yogi, first time here. How you doing? Everything on the West Coast is cool weather, not so hot. Perfect for some people. Nice. Perfect burpee weather. "21 past midnight here. Goldie is a night owl." So, yep, again, guys, make sure you go check out Oscar. I think it was Jace who was talking about Oscar and William today. How they'll both be making some significant progress. Oscar says, I'm sorry. Let's see. Oh, all that good stuff. Yeah, all of it does sound good. We get some. Let's see. Jacob says, Brother Roy and the Legendary. Oscar says, Fat Man. Oh, yep, I was asking about your PR session. How many rep PR was it? I know you got 300 reps. Jacob says, Brother Oscar, the Legendary. I think I said that right. Baby gravy is at times known as baby poop in a diaper. I did not know that. I probably, at 59, I probably could have gone the rest of my life without knowing that. Baby gravy. Huh. Funny the things that slip by you and you never know. Our friend Barb is here. Barb, how are you? I had just missed Barb's live session, just a few minutes. Pokemon says, oh yeah, it rained yesterday and a little bit today. Cloudy right now. The storm has passed us and going up west coast of Florida for Tallahassee. I'm glad it was downgraded, although still the potential for some damage. Goldie says, hi there, lovely Barb. Oscar says, hey to Jacob. Barb says, tired, but doing just a bit better. Good. Sometimes, you know, It's just measuring that progress in little bits, a little bit here and a little bit there, but it all adds up. And the Master Sergeant retired. Milka is here. She says hello, and she has all the O's in various order. Milka says she's well. How are you, William? Goldie says, hi there, lovely Milka. Oscar says, that's the most I've done. 300. It's a tough task to do. I felt like I died a couple of times. Thank you, you all. Absolutely. I was happy to be able to watch it. Cheering you on. I can't believe I wasn't subscribed to you before. But I'm glad to make the connection now, my friend. Barb says hi to Milka. Jacob says, I'll let you have the next one, Sister Barb. What did I miss? Oh. I see what we missed. Sometimes I go ahead and read them out loud anyway, but I'm not going to this time. William says, I did not realize I was not followed, Barb. Connected now. I apologize. I missed your live. Yeah, sometimes, you know, we get so familiar with people that we don't realize that we never got around to subscribing. Well, you'll enjoy Barb's live sessions. It's very, very chill. Sitting at a coffee table or a dining room table and just relaxing, and Barb is doing her craft. She's always got something interesting, always something meaningful to say, always sharing very, very inspiring. And Jacob drops the link for Milka. Barb says it was in the movie Baby Genius. Never saw it. Goldie says, I'll be listening in as knitting till you end your live stream. Nice. You, what are you knitting, Goldie? Milka says, hi, I love the Goldie. William's enjoying his cheat day. Let's see. Mode USA says, good afternoon, host. Good afternoon, my friend. How are you? Milka says, as well, you should be, William. William, how's your shoulder feeling? Barb says, I'm bruising very easily, and the doctor told me that I would for another few weeks. Is that low on iron, or... Oscar says, don't worry, I just started. Leo talks hi, Leo. Well, I really appreciate that from Leo. Leo is awesome. Inspiring, a hard worker, and just a good man, you know? I'm really looking forward to following along in your journey, Oscar. So what's new, Moj? Barb says, thank you. Pokerman says, Jacob, I think what you are doing here in this chat is awesome. Really appreciate you. Thank you for subscribing to everyone linked. Awesome, Pokerman. Jacob is incredible. As I mentioned before, he just, he comes in and he does the work. No questions asked. He's just here to help everyone, trying to make as many connections as possible. Jacob has never, ever asked for anything in return. Ever. He's never said, hey guys, don't forget to subscribe to me. Come visit my channel, cheer on my workout. He'd appreciate it. Jacob wants to grow his channel too, but he's just one of those guys who would rather put other people first. That's a rare breed. In truth, it's who we all are, but we've lost touch with that aspect of ourselves. Jacob has maintained that, which is pretty awesome. That serves as an inspiration for all of us. Hey, Pokemon, thank you for putting it out there. Very much appreciated. Barb says, oh, you would like it very much about the knowledge of the world. Children has, then loses. Also a comedy. Interesting. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to see if it's on Netflix or maybe some other streaming service. Jacob says he enjoys doing it. Thank you, Pokemon. And Erica Point is here. How's things in Connecticut, Eric? Eric says, Oscar, I haven't done 300 yet. The most I did was 150. You're good. Great. 300 is awesome. Barb says, blood pellets and low potassium. Maybe an extra non-ripe banana. I know both you and I like the non-ripe bananas. Maybe a little more potatoes. Potatoes are actually higher in potassium than bananas. William says outside of the tendon, it feels a little sore, but it is losing inflammation. Nice. So you're definitely icing it, right? Oh, Goldie says the same sweater, jumper, cardigan she was working on. Nice. Eric says hey to Goldie. Barb says, Pokemon, I connected with you. Awesome. Makes me happy when you guys connect. Goldie says, yes, Jacob is outstanding, so please. And she drops the link for our brother, Jacob. Our friend Squirrel Sniper is here. Right? He is, right? I saw Barb say hey to Sniper. I don't see Squirrel Sniper. However, I'm going to go ahead and say hi to Squirrel Sniper just in case he's here and I missed him. For those who don't know, Squirrel Sniper's tooth is out. Several people have said hi to Squirrel Sniper. I still don't see him though. It's the Squirrel Sniper that you don't see. That's the one you got to worry about. The one that you see, that's okay. The one you don't see, that means trouble. Sabine is here. Hello, Sabine. How are you? Another lovely live stream with Sabine and Timo and Bax. As well as our friend Jace soon after had a live stream. Playing with Xena. Always cool. Mir is here. Mir, how are you? Mir says, hello, Sir Yogi, and beautiful people here. William says, a little here and there. Been busy here today. Hey, sitting at your computer, just put an ice pack on, or ice in a towel, ice in a bag. So everyone's saying hi. Going to go all the way down. If I miss a hi, I apologize. But I find if I go down at the bottom, when everyone's saying hi, I'm fairly safe and not falling behind. And then I turn to the camera and I start talking, saying I'm not going to fall behind, and I look back and I'm already behind. It happens like that. Oscar says, thank you, Eric. I have seen all those warriors around me. I am nothing but pumped up and inspired by you all. Hey, it goes both ways, Oscar. You know, you see someone, especially someone new to the community, and, you know, I've watched it before where Leo, you know, will post a video helping my bro, and always impressive. That's how inspiration works. It's never one-sided. Rhea says hey to Oscar. Are you guys all connected with Oscar? He's got a new channel. It's a Burpee Warrior. He's part of that elite group of Burpee Reaper, Leo Sidso, and Jacob. Jacob put in big reps with Burpee Reaper today. Barb says she just connected with Oscar. Awesome. Wolf is here. Wolf, my friend, how are you? Wolf says, hi, Yogi. Just wondering if you have the same problem I do. The last time I sang was in the shower and the water stopped. I actually don't have the same. I actually don't have the same problem. My cats have requested that I never sing again. Even in the shower, my cats don't want to hear me. Oscar says, hi guys, and thank you. Oscar's got a growing channel. 26 subscribers. Once it I'm going to make sure to share his stuff. So if you see a video from Oscar, make sure you share it. Let's see. Robert said bald head get off welfare. So just my bald head should get off welfare. The rest of me can stay on welfare. I appreciate that vital information. Let's see. Theradox says, if knowledge is the key, then show me the lock. Knowledge depends on how we view knowledge. It's never locked away. Don't confuse information with knowledge. I think that's a mistake we often make. You have all the knowledge of the universe within your body itself because your body is not separated from the universe. Your body has all the knowledge that it needs for the heart to pump, for the blood to flow, for the liver to detoxify, for the spleen to spleen? Let's see. Mocha says, I was going to ask you to go to karaoke and sing girl band songs. Are you talking to Wolf? We can all make a road trip to Louisiana if Wolf will sing karaoke with us. What do you say, Wolf? Mira says, William, my brother, soon 1K, man. Nice. Pokemon says, it would make it easier to subscribe and like people's shorts if I had the wrench, but no pressure. Well, I get often people wag their finger at me. Somebody in specific wags their finger at me and says, you're giving out wrenches willy-nilly. However, Pokemon's been showing up for a while. He's been a good friend. He's always got great input here. Always has great insights. If we're deep in a conversation, he'll ask some great questions. So, you know, vital part of the community. And when you have a vital part of the community, you want to make sure you set everything up for their ease, so that people can support each other. So, Pokemon, welcome to the Blue Wrench Club. There's just a couple rules. No horseplay with the blue wrenches. Don't chase people around the pool waving a blue wrench. Don't smack people with blue wrenches. Simple things. Common courtesy. No comparing sizes of big wrenches. Everyone's blue wrench is the same size. So yeah, we can all go sing. Milka has heard me sing karaoke. She's heard me sing karaoke songs to girl band songs before, which I have an affinity for doing. And I sort of, I don't know why, and I do know why. The early Beatles, especially John Lennon, used to love to sing girl band songs. Speed says hi to Moonwolf. Aerodoc says, Yogi, can I have my wrench back? Someday, but not quite yet. I don't know if you've given a sincere apology to our friends Optimob. And again, one of the things with having a blue wrench is people recognize you as a friend of the channel, so they assume that everything's going to be cool. And I just need to know for sure that you're going to be cool when you go other places. It's not anything personal at all. It has nothing to do with you being a friend. You are most certainly a friend. I've always appreciated you being here. I've always appreciated you as a person, as a friend, for what you have to offer. I like your channel, and I absolutely like you. But I mentioned before, I don't want to get into it. No big deal. Eventually, my friend, eventually. However, I still fully support you. Barb says hi, Laradox hugs. Laradox says hi, guys. Hey, our friend Greg is here. Greg, how are you? Greg's birthday is creeping up, guys. Laradox says, I'm sorry, Optimum. I'm not here today. Laradox says I have to go. I'll be back soon. Barb says I sang in a band when I was a teen. Then one New Year's I had to sing lead, and when I went to sing Aquarius, nothing came out. I had strep throat. 6 weeks, nothing. Wow. I had strep throat and mono once at the same time. Absolutely miserable. You picked a good song to sing. Thomas is here. 2-cap. Tommy 2-pump. Tomorrow's his day. 2-pump Tuesday is a thing because of 2-cap. Not sure how I feel about that. Let's see. Barb says, Greg, my dad told me the golden years are not golden, and I found that out. Greg says, hey, Barb, I can relate to that. I can relate to getting old. It sucks. Oops, sorry, I missed a couple things. Goldie says, no, Laradox, you had it 2 times, proved untrustworthy. Sadly so. Hey, Laradox, if you're still here, Jacob drops the links to people above. So even without a wrench, if you're sincere about connecting, it's a possibility. Laradox Poker, I've been in the stream for a while now. Laradox has. Barb's going to be 69 on August 22nd. Birthday's not too far away. Greg said a birthday coming up. So sorry, I'm a little out of sequence here. Oscar says, Yogi, what would the band name be? Man, that's a good question. Eric and the No Tones. That's the best I can come up with. Eric and the No Tones. The singing yogis, and we would sing everything in Sanskrit. TCAP says we're getting a pretty early start on the live stream, 5:45 a.m. Hey, I should still be around. Oh, that would be Pacific. What time would that be here? What, 9:45? Goldie says, awesome, Greg. May we celebrate your birthday here in the chat? That would be nice. That would be great. Joe Delaney is here. Joe Delaney had a great new video. Greg says, hey, Barb, what are you going to do for your, You can't stop the aging process. I just go one day at a time. That's good advice no matter what age we are. Thomas says August 22nd, his best friend, one of his best friends that day as well. Excellent advice from Barb. Greg, accept it with faith and love and share the knowledge we've learned. Absolutely. Beautifully said, Barb. TCAP says, I'm actually taking the whole day off to save my energy for tomorrow, Eric. What's going to be the number? Hey, Oscar, did you know that it's going to be 2 Pump Tuesday tomorrow? Jacob says, Brother TCAP. Greg says, Goldie, that sounds like a plan. I'm looking forward to it. Goldie says, do you speak Sanskrit? Absolutely, Goldie. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I might speak Sanskrit better than English. It's funny that you said that because I started to reply and neither Sanskrit or English came out. Just garble. 8:45 Eastern time. Thank you. I should be around. I should be finished my own workout. Getting ready to take a walk with Mocha. So I'll be able to stop in. Cheer you on. 2 Pump Tuesday. Greg says he's very, hey Barb, I'm very surprised I made it this far. In some ways, so am I, after some of my previous activities. Barb says, Greg, me too, with all this cancer. Every day though, getting better every day. Joseph said, Yogi, I haven't seen Miss Destiny in a while. Do you know if she's on vacation maybe? I don't think so. She was in here, I think on Friday. And she had a couple new videos up. She replied to something on my channel. So she's been around. I will keep an eye out for her. Oscar says, yes, I'm ready. Awesome. Once again, guys, you see a video from Oscar show up, make sure to share it out. We can get more support in the community for him. Not just the burpee community, the whole community. Barb says, hey, Joe, did I miss you? Sorry if I did. Health Crack says, are you a Christian? I am not a Christian. However, I have been a Christian. I was raised Christian. I was baptized Catholic, went to a Catholic school. I stepped away from the Christian path. I was searching for a long time. I explored Buddhism. I explored Sufism. Yoga has been a mainstay. And I started following Course in Miracles a long time ago in the early 90s. And that is, it's not Christianity, but it's the teachings, we could say updated teachings of Jesus. I would rather, I talked about this with Mocha earlier. I'd rather refer to myself as a follower of Christ than a Christian, follower of Jesus than a Christian. Once I become a Christian, I'm told how I'm supposed to follow Jesus, and I'm no longer listening to my heart. I'm no longer receiving personal instructions from Jesus and how to live my life. It also doesn't exclude my love and devotion to Krishna or Shiva or following the teachings of the Buddha. The Jesus that I prefer to follow would tell me, find wisdom where I can find it. Take wisdom where I can find it. Health Crack, how about you? We have some very, very deeply faithful Christians here and love talking about it with all of them. But none of it's forced, you know what I mean? It's all an open discussion. Sorry, guys, I fell behind again. You cannot resist a good question. Greg says, hey, Barb, I'm very sorry you're going through that horrible disease. Goldie says, I am Health Crack, and by the way, hello. Goldie is one of the devout that I was talking about. It was actually conversations with Goldie, a few others, but specifically Goldie, that opened me up to re-explore my relationship with Jesus. Lupus says, Guten Tag. Guten Tag to you, my friend. Some of the few German words that I can speak. Teacup says, thank God, Eric. Same here. Should have been dead all the times I drank till I blacked out. You and I both. You and I both. Putting myself and others in dangerous positions. It is no way to live. However, when you're doing it, it's the only way to live. Because if you could do something different, you would. No one wants to be a drunk. No one wants to be any of those things. We find ourselves somehow caught up, and then we feel hopeless. How do we step out? We don't know. But then something happens, and we're blessed with an opportunity where we're able to step out of that path. For me, I always liken it to a moment of grace, an actual miracle that happened. A soft miracle. We always think of these miracles as, you know, this big bolt of light that knocks Saul off the horse and he becomes St. Paul. And they can certainly happen. Mine was just a very quiet voice that said, if you want, you never have to drink again. Let's see. Teacup says he leaves himself open to the possibilities of the unknown. Absolutely. Yeah, Eric LaPointe says, sadly, Destiny's sister passed on the 3rd. She did a little post on losing 2 siblings. Roy says, hello, Health Crack, welcome. Let me get caught back up. Barb says, God has challenges for us all to go through. I feel if I make it through, then God wants me to share to help others. Absolutely. And my prayers are with you. Ria Shah says, Namaste Yogi. Namaste to you, my friend. Always appreciate it when you come by. Lupus says, have you searched up the rep theory? You know what? I had it on Wikipedia last night after we talked, and I ended up going a little late on the live stream, and then our good friend Mr. Poopnator called me up, and we chatted for a little bit, maybe 20 minutes or so. And then I shut things down and I forgot that I had it up, and I haven't brought it back up again. So I appreciate you reminding me. Where it says, that is tragic, LaPointe, but explains why I haven't seen her. If you do before again, please extend my condolences. Goldie says hi to Lupus and to Ria. Barb says, yes, it's the power of Jesus living within us. Absolutely. Barb says, oops. Lupus says, I don't believe in gods. No need to if you're not called to. Whatever exists, exists without our belief, with or without our belief. um, so whatever doesn't exist with or without our belief. Barb says, I believe the same, Barb. I believe that and promise nothing here and to relinquish my worldly possessions. My purpose is to be an example to others. Nicely said. Similar for me, that my purpose is to extend love in every possible way. Barb says, it was my faith in Jesus, God, and the Holy Spirit that has brought me this far through surgeries and pain. He got me here with amazing friends also. Amen to that, Barb. Raya says, hey, Goldie. And Barb says, miracles can be just a puff of air. Absolutely. Also, they can be hit with lightning. Yet it's still unique for each person. According to A Course in Miracles, miracles are our birthright. And the objective of a miracle is to change our minds. When the mind changes, everything about the world changes. Goldie says, now I have a question, Eric McCarty. Did you find a reason for starting to drink, or was it a gradual process? It's a good question. You know, I experimented a bit with, well, more than a bit. I experimented with a lot of drugs in the 80s. I sort of took it as a sacrament that I was exploring altered states of consciousness. I was very much into reading Carlos Castaneda, shamanism, and going to Grateful Dead concerts where you really went into that altered state of consciousness. And then I stopped because I just no longer enjoyed the effect. I'd also read Aldous Huxley's Doors of Perception, where he said that, yes, using plant medicine is opening a door, doors of perception. However, it's the same door each and every time. You don't get anything new after several experiences. And the tendency is to start using more and more and more and diminishing returns. So I stopped, and I was pretty dry period doing nothing. I started hanging out in bars with some friends. And I found if I had a drink or two, I was much more talkative. I was more lively. I would do things that I wouldn't do when I was sober, like dance or ask out an attractive girl, or, you know, all kinds of stuff. Some good, some bad. And I started going to bars more and more, and I found myself every single night, almost for the entirety, 1989 to 1999, going to bars every single night and drinking to oblivion. And I discovered through drinking, I really didn't like myself at all. And I started drinking to punish myself. It was all a mess. It's still a mess when I think about it. And I dive into why. Why did I do this stuff? And at the same time, you know, I was still working out. I was still health conscious. I say that because, you know what, I was eating well, I was exercising, but I was killing myself with alcohol. So how can you be health conscious and do that? You really can't be. And I was also meditating, beginning my, deepening my practice in yoga, actually thinking about a monastery for a while. And I think those seeds that were planted started opening up. Certain bad habits started falling away. My diet changed to a vegetarian diet. Just little things at first. But I held on to the drinking because it was so, what else did I have? Until, as I mentioned before, I was pulled over. And as soon as I saw the light behind me, and that's a story in of itself, and I've shared that a few times, but I won't go into detail on that. But as soon as I saw the light go on behind me, that's when I literally, it was an intuitive, quiet voice, not a booming, loud voice. It was the voice saying, if I never wanted to drink again, I didn't have to. for whatever reason, I said okay. And I was done. Never had a drink again. Never had an urge to drink again. Never, it was just no longer part of my life. Let me dive back in. I apologize, guys. Probably could have answered that question in considerably less time. But I don't mind talking about it at all because, one, if my experience can help anyone. Two, it really speaks highly of the power of meditation. We can replace meditation with deep prayer, breath work, the path of yoga. If you want to change your life, I've talked quite a bit with Jo Delaney. When she's here and when she's not here, I still talk quite a bit about Jo Delaney. The process of healing is we don't fix anything by going to the effect, which most people try to do. We go to the effect. We go on a diet. We go on a 21-day alcohol-free fast. That's all dealing with the effect, but the cause is ever present. Until you address the cause, nothing truly changes. You might replace an addiction, but an addiction is still in place, and you spend the rest of your life enslaved to it. Through the practice of yoga, meditation, I realized above all, I wanted to be free. I wanted to be liberated, not just from my addiction, but from the thought system that kept me enslaved to the addiction. Joe says, hey, full support, Oscar. Just shared your video. I'm here for it. Great job. Awesome. TCAP says, love you all. Going to jump in the water. Hope you all have a wonderful night. And I'll be thinking of you during my workout. 2 Pump Tuesday. Tommy 2 Pump. Wolf says, we must always remember that God's will is not our will, but his is always the best interest, even if we don't understand how. Thank you, Wolf. I talked about that earlier today, how in A Course in Miracles it says we always have 2 voices in our head. We have the voice of the ego, which is always wrong, because it's always steering us to think of ourselves. What's in it for me? How am I going to do this? How am I going to get the most out of this situation? How can I get more than this person? If I help this person, are they going to help me back? All those kinds of questions. At the same time, we have our true voice, and it is the voice of love. We could also say it's the voice of God, the silence of God. As Herman Melville said, silence being the only voice of God. And it's always right. It's always right. If you don't believe in God, you still have that quiet voice of intuition, call it whatever you would like, and it is still always present. Let's just call it love. So everyone believes in love. William says, you too, 2Cap, enjoy your rest. Excited for your live tomorrow. Me too. Wolf says, hi, Joe. Joe says, Mr. LaPointe, for some reason I felt something was off. All right, I'm way behind. I apologize, guys. Let's see. Oscar says, Joe, thank you. A little sloppy. I know I got stronger. I'll be better. You know what? I didn't think you were sloppy at all. Like I said, I remember watching you getting reps with Leo. Strong work. But everyone develops their own style as they progress. So I think you look good, but you're going to start to develop your own style the more reps you do, and it'll just get better and better. Lupa says, actually, the reason we can make things up is because of electro signals. Just like energy is proven to have a mass in the Big Bang, it also makes it so we can interpret imagination. Who is the interpreter? Who is the one interpreting? We can do away with all of that easily just by going to awareness itself, skipping all of that, going straight to the observer. Leo said, much love, Yogi. You're a goat. Stay strong and be safe, brother. You too, Leo. Thanks for coming in. Much appreciated. One of the things, remember, with science is you are looking through the same biases, the same 5 afflictions of the mind they talk about in yoga, the kleshas, as everyone else. That even the greatest scientist is going to be addicted to their own attachments, to their own aversions, to their own fears, to their own belief in a small, limited self, the ego, and they're still going to be ignorant of those addictions to all of that. So you're just looking at it through their own channels, which is why, Einstein said, living in awe is the greatest state that we can be in. William says, welcome, Leo. Did you already go live today? Leo says, nope, just got home from work. Getting ready to do my session now, brother. Awesome. I got to remember to take my little seat pillow that I dropped on top of my cat. Cat did not appreciate it too much. William says, awesome, sweet. I'll be there. Wolf says, we spend too much time, asking God for what we want, and not enough time thanking Him for all the things that He has given freely. Absolutely. I've said probably hundreds and hundreds of times. Something I read about from Meister Eckhart, the 12th century German mystic. If the only prayer we ever say is thank you, that would be enough. And I read that decades ago and started practicing saying thank you, thank you, thank you every morning. And it really was just a practice, reminding myself. And now it's just a spontaneous thank you for everything that I've been given. Leo says, hello, Joe. Hello, Yogi fam. Hope you're well. Thank you, Leo. Always appreciate it when you come by. Roy says, I see that now too, Wolf. Thank you. Wolf says hi to Leo. Goldie says hi to Leo. We got some more links dropped. Joe says, there's always a core reason, something deep down that is the root cause to make us try to make us mask it with an addiction. I understand, Yogi. Absolutely. Joe has been there. Joe has been through the fire. Look where she is now. Goldie says, to Lupus, if God's existence would depend on people believing it, wouldn't be God. This is why the beginning of the Tao Te Ching says the Tao that can be told is not the true Tao. Sue's here. Lupus says energy, awareness. We can just say energy, but there's something to that energy. There's an awareness to that energy that is independent of the brain itself. Anyone who's experimented with plant medicine, anyone who has been in the deep, deep states of meditation, has gotten to that point of pure, absolute awareness, where we see thoughts coming way before they get here. We actually see that little inkling of energy that our friend Lupus is talking about. William says, I like the idea of focusing on the cause. Only way to ever make changes. It's also, when we see the cause, that's when the work of forgiveness comes in place. You can forgive the effects all you want. They'll just keep appearing. When we get to the cause and we forgive the cause, now we're changing how we perceive the world, because it's those causes that are projected out into the world. Every cause is based on fear. So we're given these keys, the best way to make those changes. Let's see. Luba says awareness is the action of thought. Thought is created by electric signals. Actually, awareness is independent of thoughts. Again, you got to meditate. You got to reach that state where you've experience the thoughtless state, no thoughts, and yet consciousness itself remains. This is why the early quantum physicists always said, you can't get behind consciousness. It's always there. You've never experienced anything outside of consciousness. Everything appears within consciousness. Thoughts, as well as those little electronic signals. Eric Point says, Yogi says very wise words, and just so happens to have a friend named Mr. Poopinator. Enough said. Absolutely. And I had an extended conversation with Mr. Poopinator yesterday. He's a really good guy. That explains everything. Eric Lapointe he just summed me up in the perfect sentence. I'll be honest with you though. I'd like to think that we all have a friend named Mr. Poopinator. Lupus says, nothing is to the energy. Energy is not a spirit. Never said anything about spirit. Awareness is information. Information is not to be given, but learned. Actually, awareness is independent of information. Who's aware of information? What is information without awareness? What is it? You can't get behind awareness. And you can't explain it unless you've experienced it yourself, unless you've spent decades in deep meditation, unless you've done decades of self-inquiry, unless you've done deep, deep, deep prayer work, or you've experimented with plant medicine, or all of that. It's like, Lupus, it's like asking a fish, where's the water? Jacob says, blessings to all. Blessings to you, Jacob. Goldie says, well, if I learn not to ask for things, only thank him and pray for his will to be done. Absolutely. Leo's getting ready to do some work. Thank you, Leo. Lupus says, God doesn't exist. Infinite energy might. Then what, I mean, we could say infinite energy is God. It's semantics. It's really, at a certain point, it becomes a circle argument. We could call it infinite energy, but it's not God. Or we could call it God, but it's not infinite energy. Or we could say it's God, and God is infinite energy. It just keeps going around in circles. It's the experience that means everything. And again, I seldom talk too much about God. I talk quite a bit about awareness because I've had some profound moments of pure awareness that have changed me completely. And I can liken that pure awareness to God if I wanted to give it a name. I don't feel the need to. But if you haven't been there, you don't know. So that's why it's a ridiculous argument to, again, especially when you see it, people arguing for their addictions, that this is the way I see the world and this is the way it has to be. This is the way it's supposed to be because this is the way I believe it is. But you don't even know why you believe what you believe. Jacob says, thank you for having me on your live stream once again, brother Mr. Yogi. Heading out. Much love and respect. Thank you, Jacob. Much love and respect to you too, my friend. Nothing is to energy. Energy is not a spirit. Yep, read that. Jacob says, God doesn't exist. We are all God because we are all creators. Semantics. Again, it gets, at a certain point, it just gets ridiculous to keep arguing about stuff or even debating. That's what Goldie says. I hope you find comfort in that belief. However, let's agree to disagree. Absolutely. Well, science is really a belief. Science is just a story. If we think we have answers in science, we only have scientific answers in science. We don't have all the answers in science. We're not supposed to have all the answers in science. William says, hi, Yogi. Just wanted to say hi real quick. Thank you, William. I appreciate you stopping by. Goldie says, see you later, Brother Jacob. We're probably going to talk about 10 more minutes, and then I'd like to go pop in for support for Leo. Oscar says, Yogi, you're a smart man. Your words are strong. Thank you, Oscar. Lupa says, I believe what I believe through mental activity. Exactly. And that's the problem. God, that's your interpretation of God. God is interpreted as being. Energy is strength. Let's see. Eric Point says, hey, Bill, did you hit the beach? He's in Phoenix. Isn't everything a beach? Just no ocean. Eric Point says, hey, Wolf, in case I didn't say hi. I understand what you're saying, Lupus. William Downey says, I am the poopinator. There can only be one poopinator. Let's see, just circling back up. Awareness is information. Absolutely not. You're aware of information. Again, it's like a fish asking for directions to the nearest water bowl. Homo BT is here. Atheists believe in no God. Some of us believe in different gods, like a higher power. William says, okay, I'm going to get going. Everyone, just a quick hi. Appreciate it, William. Eric Point says, I'm back and forth between both sides. A really great look at things. Vincent's here, Whore of Spice. Oh, yeah, what you believe is a huge problem. For you, not for me. However, you know, if you're happy, clap your hands. T says, good evening all. Hope you're all good. Yogi, Wolfie, Barb, Eric, Santa's naughty helper, Sue, and everyone else. Let's see. Lip says you can't be aware without knowing it. And you know that how? Sue says, had an appointment in Harrisburg in the morning. So I got to travel across and along the Susquehanna. Beautiful. Such an awesome river. Everyone should get to spend some time along the Susquehanna River. Just took it. T, thank you. Lupa says, what? Exactly. Vincent, how you doing? Let's see. Our friend Mira says, so Yogi, and what time do you start burpees? Eastern U.S. time, I usually start right about 8 o'clock in the morning. Horace Spice says, going live in less than 4 hours from now. Awesome. I will be asleep. However, I'm going to have it up tomorrow and watch the whole thing. If you guys get the opportunity, check out Horror of Spice. It's going to be live in less than 4 hours. T says, Yogi, how are you? I've had a good day. Awesome. And the appointment I was planned for yesterday was definitely positive. Hey, T, you're starting to string along some good days in a row now. You know what I mean? They're getting more frequent. That's awesome. Eric Point says, hey, GB, and hey to T. Lupa says, thoughts control instincts that make you react to the instinct, and boom, awareness. If you say so. I believe you'd have a different thought had you spent time in looking in the other direction. GB Bro says, just now, sleeping, Say hi to friends. Good night. Good night, my friend. T says, Eric, are you behaving? Eric Lapointe. Eric behaves in a Eric always behaves, but he has that little man. What's the expression I'm looking for? He knows the right time. He knows the right thing to say at the right time. Let's see. Eric Point says, interesting lupus. Let's see. Mir says, so guys, good night. Stay blessed, y'all, and thanks for your kindness. You're welcome, my friend. Sue says, behaving is so fun. That's absolutely right. T says, Yogi, I was going downhill due to shouting lady. I slept extra and missed my lunch. But part of chronic fatigue is very up and down. It just seems that you're stringing more of them together, though. Don't forget, hashtag Mir. I'm trying to put the whole thing together. Anyway, don't forget, check out all of Mir's stuff. All through the day. He's always putting good stuff out. T says, Sue, very true. Let's have some fun. Absolutely. Let's see. Lupa says, have you heard of the hippocampus, the organ below the temporal lobe? It transponds with all the other instincts to make imagination. Your brain makes and cuts the energy in a pattern we find out. They have heard it all before. Meditate. It's going to be my answer from this point on. Meditate. Spend 1 year meditating and get back to me. Eric Point says, I'm a smartass. Is that what you're looking for? I was trying to find a very polite way of saying it. But yeah, like I said, you see that? Eric knows how to get straight to the point. Absolutely. But you know what? Everyone loves a good smartass. I don't get by in life on my looks. I don't get by in life on my charm. I don't get by in life on my intelligence. I get by in life by being a high-quality smartass. So Eric Lapointe, it's game recognizing game. Let's see. T says, Yogi, staff have noticed changes in the past few weeks. Thanks for acknowledging. I need to talk and share the positivity today. Absolutely. Absolutely. Eric Lapointe, thank you, my friend. Eric says, great lives. Lupa says that means nothing is random. Infinite energy is actually proven wrong. And in the end, we will be interpreted as nothing unless the crunch theory is correct. Nothing, absolutely correct. Nothing, but absolute nothing that is aware of itself being nothing. An infinite loop of awareness. So many mystics have said it's the realization of nothingness itself that is cause for celebration, cause of enlightenment. Everything occurs within nothingness. The absolute occurred within nothingness. We could say God itself is nothingness from which everything springs forth from. This is the whole message from the Buddhist Heart Sutra, that form is emptiness, emptiness is form. It doesn't say form becomes emptiness or emptiness reverts back to form. Is the operative word. Form is emptiness now. T says, just doing the supplements. Lupa says, how many hours? Don't even need to do it for hours. You might find that you end up doing it for hours. Start out 20 minutes twice a day, but learn a viable means of actually meditating. It could be transcendental meditation. It could be Vipassana meditation, Buddhist. For someone scientifically minded, that might be the best one, because you begin by being aware of your thoughts and then labeling your thoughts. And then you find the thoughts disappearing, and then you reside in what remains when in the absence of thought. In the absence of all the scientific thought, who are you? In the absence of the thought of God, in the absence of the thought of without a God, who are you? When you come to that realization, you are who you really truly are. Gordy says, Eric McCarty, I would love to see this conversation play between Lupus and Laradox. I'd be munching that part like crazy. That would be, yes, man, gaskets would be blown. Eric says, I always say it's better to be a smartass than a dumbass. This is true. Absolutely true. I've been both at one time or another. T says, Eric P, that's because he didn't call you a smartass, groveling. Respect, brother, for the donation. Lupa says, how is nothing aware of nothing? It's the mystery of life, mystery of the universe. Teacup says, damn, I went away and you guys are still here. Yep, we're going to wind it down in a minute. That's the secret of meditation. Because all nothing is awareness. All awareness is nothing. Everything is all the scientific information, all the labels. Remember the Tao Te Ching saying, the Tao that can be told is not the true Tao. The science that can be described is not the true science. We're given labels to all this stuff, but nothing is a label. There's no such thing as a label. It's just a temporary thing that we put in place. Nothing can only be aware of nothing. And the content that is appearing. And the content that appears within nothing is nothing more than nothing itself. So now we're getting someplace. T says, hey, anyone I missed or just joined? T says she's here. Or I'm sorry, Joe Lenny says, hello T, I'm here in the bushes. Earth Point says, hey Tommy, 2 pump 2 cap on Tuesdays. Big day tomorrow. Once again, 2 pump Tuesday. Lupus says, so it doesn't exist. Why do you think that nothing doesn't exist? My only suggestion is give up all the words. Give up, does this exist? Does this not exist? Simply be and find out what's there. Go beyond every concept. Go beyond every thought. Go beyond everything you think you know. Let it go and let it go and let it go and see what's there. In the absence of words, in the absence of descriptions, who are you? In the absence of labels. If you didn't have a label for the theory of relativity, if you didn't have the label for infinite energy, if you didn't have a label for awareness, if you didn't have a label for nothing, if you didn't have a label for God, who would you be? If you got rid of all those, who would you be? And when you get just a glimpse of that, come on by and we'll finish this talk. And it'll be a completely different talk. You don't even need to spend a whole lot of time there. If you have a glimpse, just a glimpse. If you have a glimpse of your own infinite nature as awareness, every question will end, but an exploration will begin. The need to give a label to everything is over, done. You won't need to. God, no God, you won't even care because you'll be living the experience of right now. Let's see. So yeah, we're just going in circles again. Teacup says, I feel that nothing is a concept. True. Nothing is beyond, as Eric said. Optimob says, hi everyone. The Optimob is sitting on a mountain at 3,500 feet, filming a star lapse. Awesome. I'm so excited. How it works and other results. Greetings. Can't wait to see it. Let's see. Lupa says, oh, okay, I see. Nothing. I would be everything. Absolutely, you would be everything. Absolutely. Teacup says, words are containers and we are the contained. And not only that, the line between container and contained disappears completely. So then there's just, I can't say anything. I can just put my hands up in the air and smile. There's just, and then we don't have to say anything. Lupus says, oh, I'm supposed to look up the RIP theory. The thing is, though, you know, I find all theories interesting, but they're theories. This moment isn't a theory. This moment, all we can know. This moment. Lupus says, later, take care, my friend. Enjoyed the conversation. Eric Point says, was still shot from the Psychos on Saturday. That was a, they're tough. I don't visit them often, and it's been a long time since I have. Hope I can pull off 2 pumps. No doubt. You will. Because it's 2 Pump Tuesday. Teacup says, that was my pump up talk right there. Lupus says, theory. It's all a theory until we live it. T says, Optimod, that sounds cool. Yeah, it sounds awesome, doesn't it? Lupus says, sorry, bye. That's okay, my friend. T says, Yogi, what's your thoughts on cheese on toast or baked beans on toast is better? Which is more part of a stable diet? Well, I don't eat cheese, but I know you do. And I know you enjoy it. And I know it can be a valuable source of protein for you. It's good. You know, choose your toast wisely. That would be the only thing. Choose your toast wisely. You want it to be, you know, avoid white, heavily processed. As long as you're getting, you know, the fiber content, as long as you're getting nutritional value from the toast, good stuff. Psycho Saturday, oh man, you guys are definitely going down the rabbit hole. Reaper says, or I'm sorry, Two-Cap says, I've never tried a Psycho. Yep, it's a type of burpee. Optimop says, Bumblebee, I hope it works. I'm not a professional. I try always new stuff. By the way, we are drove up the mountain with a tripod and power bank, etc. And on the desk, I forgot the camera. Wow. So you drove all the way home. T says she loves cheddar cheese, not blue cheese. T says Optimob also forgot too. I make a list, Optimob. I'm experimenting with new stuff too. My last 2 videos, infrared in the morning when it's still dark. Changes the quality of it, but it's awesome to be able to see the stuff that I would have missed. Or I would see it and be unable to film it because my camera just wouldn't be able to light it up. So I saw for the first time today ever in my little pond an egret. Egret, right? Egret? Egret. Um, I thought it was a great blue heron, but it was completely white. And then I realized it was an egret. Never saw one in my little pond before. Eric Point says, it's fun to cap. Brian does it the best. Brian has power to spare. Brian's a unique physical specimen who has so much power and yet endurance to back it up. You know, I know a lot of people who have a ton of power, but they also don't have the endurance that Brian has. T says, Eric Point, I still love the wood chopper. Wood chopper is the best because it's an organic invention from Eric LaPointe. Only Eric LaPointe could have thought of a wood chopper. Let's see. Wolf says a Starlight camera would be great also. I haven't heard of a Starlight camera. I'm writing it down though. I'm going to Google that up. Thank you, Wolf. Optimob says, sorry, but you will film and the camera at home. This makes this evening or night legendary. That's awesome, Timo. Joe Delaney says, hello, Timo. I wasn't able to type in the chat until now. T says, Eric LaPointe, you think there's a wheelchair burpee, like propelling my wheel on a wheelchair, but me hitting the deck so I can get off the floor? Interesting. I'm going to give this some thought. A wheelchair burpee. Joe says, hope you all have a great evening. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate your company. Optimob says, hi, Wolf. Hopscotch works for Sabine and I and had a fun evening outside. Nice. T says, good night to Joe Delaney. Sabine says, oh, yes, that was legendary. You got to love those nights. Sometimes it's the mistakes that make the whole thing an adventure, you know? Joe says, big hugs, everyone. T says, not hitting the deck. Okay, absolutely. Need an ambulance to get off the floor? Understood. T, you would break the internet. Yeah, you would definitely have to get that on camera. Wolf says, if they have them, a Starlight camera or maybe a scope will show things that don't have a heat signature. I'm going to look for that. It's definitely got to be, the scopes definitely have to have the ability to film. TCAP says, see you all again, signing off. I think I'm going to sign off too, guys. Try to make somewhat of an earlier night. Appreciate everyone showing up. Putting up with the conversation that we had up above. I know that's not everyone's cup of tea. I don't mind going back and forth until you get to the point when you realize that's all you're doing is going back and forth and back and forth. You know, as we talked about before, you're never ever going to argue someone into giving up their opinion. However, and you don't need to, but how do you have an opinion when, or how do you have a discussion when both sides haven't had the same experiences? I don't know. That's what we're here to find out. T says, good night all. Optimob says, Wolf, we use a 360 cam for filming, so we catch all the whole sky, hopefully. Looking forward to seeing it. Tia said she ain't trying one. Just popped in my head as I recently did a bucket list and shocked a few I would do a wing walking. I'm serious. Nice. I wouldn't. Let's see. Eric Point says another great live. You did great. Thank you. T says Optima when it is likely to be uploaded. Please tell me I will miss it. If I see it pop up, T, I'll share it with you. Sabine says, good night, Yogi, Eric, and all friends. Take care. Bye. You too, Sabine. Have a good night. Thank you for joining in today. Guys, I'm going to see everyone tomorrow. Tima says, Bumblebee, best you put the notification on, maybe in a few hours or the next day. Hey, if I see the link, T, with the notification, I'll send it to you so you can hit the notification. Wolf says, blessings to Timo, as well as Sabine. Lupa says, meditating. But first, you got to learn how to meditate. Lupa says, I can't concentrate. You got to, let's see. Lupa, are you on Facebook? I'd be happy to teach you how to meditate. Absolutely for free, my friend. Concentration is tough. That's the whole art of meditating. And it really is, I can teach you, my friend. I'm a certified primordial sound meditation teacher, which actually has different varying ways of doing it. Lupa says, not currently. Maybe I'll do a separate video tomorrow on learning to meditate. You could Google up insight meditation or Vipassana, Vipassana, I believe. Give me a second. One second. Meditation is definitely something you got to learn the proper technique to get any value of it whatsoever. It's not sitting with the eyes closed. It's not trying to empty the mind of our thoughts. It's being led to a thoughtless state completely on its own. This is Vipassana meditation. You can find basic outlines online how to do it. This is what I think might work best for you because it uses the thoughts to recognize the awareness of the thoughts. As well, practicing some form of self-inquiry where we simply ask ourselves, who am I? But never settling on a single answer. If you say, who am I? And you say the brain, can you just simply be a brain? The brain isn't independent of anything else. The brain is part of a system. The brain wouldn't be a brain if it didn't have, as you were saying up above, the electrical impulses. So is a brain electrical impulses? So you just keep asking, who am I? And who am I? Who am I? But the Vipassana meditation, excellent. Lupa says electronic signals, just kidding. T says, no, you need a heart. Absolutely. you find that the world, everything is interdependent. Nothing is independent from anything else. It's all seamless. Lupus says we're all atoms. And even more than that, we're the particles that make up the atoms. And even more than that, we are the emptiness of which particles exist within. And even more than that, what are we? Lupus says mass. There's no difference between mass and energy. So it's an infinite regression. We never get to the end of it. T says, Yogi, I got a meditation question. Let's see. Lupus says, the actual fact nothing exists is crazy. It is crazy. But imagine that from that nothingness, everything comes into existence. Everything comes, and yet isn't independent from anything else. Nothing exists, yet everything is. The key is to accept the paradox of every situation. You know, I mentioned before, the Tao says the Tao that can be told is not the true Tao, and then goes another 80 verses describing the Tao. How's that for a paradox? Let's see. T says we are what we see ourselves as. And even more than that, who is the seer? Who's the watcher? Who is the witness to it all? And what happens when even the witness disappears? The witness state is a beautiful state of meditation, and then along comes the absence of the witness, and yet everything still is, and yet somehow there's awareness without a witness. What is that? It is absolutely crazy. Lupus, you're absolutely right. It's absolutely crazy. It makes no sense because it's not supposed to make sense. I am, man, perfect. Perfect. I am. Everything stems from I am. From nothingness comes I am. I am the witness, and yet before the witness, I am. Before I am, nothing. The body is an appearance within that great nothingness. It's not separate. The body is made up of nothingness. As you said, absolute energy. Here's the seer, the mind. What happens when the mind disappears? We just infinitely regress. And then all we can do is say, shrug. It's a mystery, guys. It's a mystery. Let's live in the mystery. But coming to that witness stage is that first big breakthrough. And you're like, oh, I get it. And then the witness disappears and you're like, oh, wait a minute. Now I get it. Sniper says, Lupus says, I just want to dream on command. You already might be. According to yogic, Buddhist, Hindu traditions, this is it. It's nothing but a dream. Maya, Lila, the play of God. Sorry, didn't mean to use the God word. I don't want to regress. Sniper says, you are the combination of all those moments you feel the vibration and frequency of truth and self-recognition before it manifests into a physical trait. Is that trait? Nicely said, Squirrel Sniper. I like that you are the combination. As I said, everything is interdependent upon everything else. This was the Buddhist master Narjuna's breakthrough of relativity 1,000 years before Einstein. Squirrel Sniper says, greeting all again. Lupus says, all believe in anything if it is what it takes. My thoughts don't believe anything at all. A belief serves a purpose. It's great for navigating, but in and of itself, it isn't true. It's just a thought. A thought is never true. A thought is just a representation of something. It's never the thing. You can't get wet by the word water. Or as they say in neuro-linguistic programming, the menu is not the meal. The map is not the territory. The thought is not the thing. So what is reality? Again, all we can do is shrug. Reality is nothingness. It's also the solidness. It's emptiness and its form. Its form and its emptiness. So we know that every bit of mass is just particles dancing in space. And yet we also know the solidness of a tree, of a rock, of a table. Let's see. T says, Squirrel, do you practice the above? Lupa says, warm water is gas. Is that the thing? Well, warm water is the potentiality for gas, and gas is the potentiality of water. One isn't the absence from the other, but it's not the same thing. T says reality is about what we exist, body and mind in. But is body and mind separate from reality itself? Squirrel Semper says, that's a simple and difficult question in one. Lupus, greetings by the way. Reality is twofold, your perception of reality and reality itself. Very much on point with Course in Miracles. It's our projections that is creating the perception of the world, but the perception isn't reality itself. That's the dream. That's the dreaming nature. Potentiality is not reality. Potentiality is an aspect of reality. Potentiality has to exist within reality for anything to occur. Without the potentiality, without the ingredients, nothing could be. This table is existing in reality. And yet, if I took the table apart, if I burned it, the particles that made up would still be there, existing as a potentiality for a death to be. They settle on something else, and their potentiality becomes whatever they become, for however long they are doing the becoming. T says, Yogi, yes, it can be with out-of-body experiences with body and mind by disassociating. But even better is when we don't disassociate. When we recognize all of it as just simply occurring. Lupa says, you mean the fourth dimension? Actually, a theory on that. The perception of reality will depend on your individual indoctrination and social structure belief system until we can let all that go. Until we let it all go. And that's the entirety of the practice of yoga. It's the entirety practice of Buddhism. It's the Vedic system. It's Kashmir Saivism. It's simply pointing to the direct awareness. So we can let go of all the perceptions. We can also create a new perception. The table wouldn't be no good for your computer. It would be pretty bad for my computer, that is for sure. So, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I ended up staying much longer than I thought I would. Our friend Lupus came back. Wonderful discussion. Squirrel Sniper dropped some awesome insights. Our friend T dropped some insights and also made me smile. Much appreciated, guys. Very much enjoyed the conversation. Lupa says the apple and the box theory, after the stage of destruction and decompression, it would reconstruct itself, into what it was, basically breaking the fourth dimension law. Interesting. Bumhooey says, Lupus, the apple, and the iPad in the box. Let's see. Squirrel says, until then, you will be creating a window into reality by framed within perceptions. Absolutely. And not only that, you don't even realize it. That's why the fifth of the 5 afflictions of the mind is ignorance. We are ignorant that we are caught up in that loop. And we believe that we're in charge. We believe that there's a we that could possibly be in charge. The we doesn't exist. The we is part of the perception. When we see through perception, the we disappears. Let's see, Lupa says, and that is also a belief. It is until you let go of the beliefs and you live in the simplicity before belief even arises. So that was a good point, Lupus. But, you know, you use a belief, you use a thought. Pooper wants the last word. Is Poopinator here? Think of a thought. This is what Ramana Maharshi said. Pointers, thoughts, beliefs. You take a belief as if it's a thorn, and you remove a thorn. One belief is a thorn in your hand. The other belief is a thorn that you use to remove the thorn. Do you want to hold on to both thorns? Do you want to hold on to one thorn? Nope. You have no need. You throw them both away. Let's see. So basically, nothing exists. Everything humans ever made has no meaning. Absolutely no, zero meaning whatsoever. And we are all in virtual reality. However, we get to give things meaning. That's the wonderful thing about being a human. We have this short little span that we get to give things meaning to. The words of Shakespeare, or maybe Sir Francis Bacon, have absolutely no meaning whatsoever without the thought of what they mean. If we didn't know what they meant, they'd just be random letters in a book. But we get to give a meaning. And in that giving of the meaning, things become absolutely beautiful. Belief is a thought, nothing more. Lupa says, when I have blood on my hands, broke the system. Squirrel Seppa says, no, don't believe. And shrug your shoulders. We live in a mystery. A beautiful mystery. Let's see, Lupa says, what if I can't give it meaning? Because you're thinking you. What if I can't? Give up the thought of I can, I can't. Give up the thought of I. Meaning arises. Meaning arises. No one there is making it. It just arises. If you looked at a tree without knowing what a tree was, what would it be? And yet, if you picked up a nut and you ate it and it was delicious, there'd be some meaning there for you. And not a single word had to be said. Let's see. Yellow City says, bro, there's a fly on top of your head. Yeah, I'd like to provide homes for winged insects as they pass through. I think of it as a landing pad. I actually have a full head of hair. My hair grows very thick and very full, but I find that the flies end up getting lost there. So I shave my head. It makes a very smooth landing pad. Although sometimes they'll just slide all the way off. I'll actually hear their legs skid across my head and they plop off on the side. I always feel bad for that. Lupa says, I can't accept anything without meaning. Sounds like a problem, that's for sure. Squirrel Sniper says, not the spider then? Let's see. T says, Squirrel would be upset. He listens to his nuts. We all like a good nut. All right, Lupus, we'll pick up this conversation the next time, my friend. T says, Yogi has a landing pad. I'm glad that made you laugh. I was hoping it would. So, all right. That's it. That's it for tonight, guys. I'm going to see everyone, anyone who's around tomorrow, come on by. We'll pick up the conversation. We can pick it up exactly where we leave off. So, all right, guys. Take care. Here's the meaning that I have for each and every one of you. Have a very, very, very good night. I'm sending out love to all of you. Appreciate you spending some time with me. Good night, Squirrel Sniper. Man, I'm so glad you're feeling better. T says, night all. Lupus, you have a good night, my friend. I'll see everyone later.